You're in charge of the city display in the #1 Christmas town in America. That's a lot of pressure, man.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, Charlie here from Christmas on Crestline. Thanks for tuning in to a special interview. Today we have with us Devin from DB Productions. What's up, Devin?
Hi.
What in the world are you up to today, buddy?
Not a whole lot. Just got done building some stuff for this year's display.
It's July. It's a busy time for those of us in the industry and the hobby.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yep. So my name is Devin. I own a YouTube channel called DB Productions where I mostly do firework related videos, but a lot of people will know me from DB Lights, which is my holiday light display that I do in Lebanon, New Hampshire. That is a New Hampshire's only volunteer built holiday display.
Nice.
That I know of anyways.
Right.
But yeah. So.
That's cool. So it's a completely volunteer. And
Yes.
we're about 10,000 subscribers here on Christmas on Crestline, and you're in the lives chatting all the time. So many thousands of our regulars know you as DB in the chats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So walk us through your features. You have 500,000 AC lights. So walk us through your display. Those who've never been to New Hampshire, have never seen it, what can they expect in visiting you this Christmas season?
So this season we're going hard. I don't think I've had a season unlike the season I have planned this year. In addition to that, last year we had 200,000 lights, so we're adding an additional 300,000 to that, and so and I'm building a prop. I'm not gonna say too much about it, but it's 50 feet long by 20 feet tall, roughly.
Wow.
So one of my biggest projects to date, and in the past at the park, I've only been able to do little sections of the park.
Right.
And this year we are utilizing pretty much every square inch of the park. Anything that we can put lights on, we're putting lights on. So
nice. That's such a great way of doing it. That brings me to two different questions here. As you're talking here, you ordered an additional 300,000 lights this year. So with tariffs, did you get that order in really early, or how did you get around the paying extra for tariffs, or did you?
I didn't have to deal with that, luckily.
Nice.
Nice. But a lot of what we've gotten in for new stuff was I didn't do as much. I should start buying more pro lights than store lights, but I went hard after Christmas sales, and then I obviously took advantage of some online sales in January and February, and then Novelty Lights sent me a bunch of box cases of lights that they donated to the display, and so it's both. Some of it I had to pay for, some of it was just donations that people bought in. So.
And that brings me to a great point. Any Christmas light companies that are watching this interview, Devin does this for the entire city. So if you have any scraps left, if you have anything you want to donate, Devin's your guy. We'll put a link to his channel down in the video's description below. But speaking of your city, every city has some quirks. What's something totally unique about the location or setup of your display that people may not realize until they see it in person?
So I think a few things that is unique, not just about the display, but about the city too, is the city was actually voted, I believe, 5 times as the best city or best small city in America.
Wow.
So
nice.
That's a cool fact that I found out. And it was also actually in a recent one a few years ago, it was voted the best Christmas town in the US. So I don't know how it made that way, but I don't know if it's because of my display or just what, but yeah. And then as far as the display goes and its location, I've changed the location throughout the last 8-9 years. that we've
Okay.
done with display. It started out in like on a pedestrian mall, so there's stores, and then in the middle was just walkways and garden beds, and that's where it started. That was kind of a unique space, but wasn't there was a lot of space, but it was kind of, it was either I start putting stuff on buildings, and that was, like, I couldn't do much, so that then we changed locations over across the street to their big public park, which is actually like a giant roundabout. You drive all around it, and it has a beautiful fountain in the middle, which is not operating in the winter, but during the summer, it's a very nice spot that people go out, and they have different events they host. They have a bandstand, so it's a very nice, and kind of the aspect of it, I think, is unique and so forth.
So when someone who's never been to your display comes and sees your town display this year, it's walkable then, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Very nice.
So it's
there you go. Go ahead.
It's both. You have there's parking spots around the entire park, where you can park and sink and watch the show from your car. But if it's one of the displays that is more interactive, so in order to see certain stuff, you have to get out and go walk through it to get the whole experience and stuff.
Nice. So you have you're in charge of the city display in the #1 Christmas town in America. That's a lot of pressure, man.
Yeah.
So a minute ago we were talking about how you got 300,000 light. You hit all the sales. You did the pre-sales in January. You did the after sales after Christmas. Let's talk some money here. How much of your own money do you have invested in this volunteer city display?
Of my own money, so when I started out, it was pretty much, I spent, again, I didn't start with as much lights and equipment, luckily, but I think my first year that I went synchronized and started using LOR controllers, out of my own money, probably a couple grand. It wasn't a lot, but then, and now we run specifically only on sponsors and donations.
Nice. Okay.
That's where the money comes from, and then that's how it works.
So is there like a donation box there people can donate to make it bigger and better?
Yeah, so pretty much, I'm friends with a lot of the stores that are nearby and store owners. So in the past, I've put in donation boxes inside. I don't like to leave a donation box out at the display, just because I'm never there. And when I'm there, it's on opening night, and that's it. On opening night, I'll put out a donation box. Usually, I collaborate with the rec department, and we host our grand opening on one day where they light up their stuff at the same time. So it's one big festivity. And I will typically, if I have a person that can stay at it, because I'm running around trying to make sure everything's good, I'll set up a booth that just has all of the info about us, how we started, donation box, and if they don't want to donate cash, then we have Venmo and PayPal. And
okay, that's what
era. Yeah, that's you can contact us for that info, even though it's on our Facebook page as well. So
okay. So if anyone watching this wants to donate later, they can just get a hold of you to do that, correct?
Yes.
So with your display out in a public place, have you had any issues with vandalism or theft? And if you have, what issues have you taken to kind of combat that?
So I want to say 3 or 4 years ago, because this was a memorial display that I put on for my uncle, and I have a part in the display that I have a picture of him and stuff, and a little remembrance for him, and that's been vandalized 4 times in the last 4 seasons. Every season.
Really?
top. Yeah.
So you say vandalize it. Are we talking spray paint or markers or kicked over or what?
Smashed. The first time it happened, I think it was more of a mistake, so I didn't really worry much about it, and so I replaced it, and then the next year it happened again, but worse. So I was like, okay, that's strange. And at the time I didn't install any cameras because I was like, well, what? I don't know what time it happens at and stuff. So I just contacted the police and started an investigation, and of course they didn't find anything. And then last year I ended up putting cameras up because I was like, it's too much money, especially that specific thing to me. I mean, if it did have a money amount, someone donated it to me and made it one of his
very nice
for me. But I think he spent probably $1,000 in making it, so it wasn't cheap to lose out. Having to replace parts to it year after year just was like, I need to figure out what I can do to make it not prone to vandalism or any of that. So this year I decided that we're gonna redo it, make it more tougher, and it's gonna be the first thing I take in, and when I put it away, and then the last thing that goes out.
Smart plan already. Like get some trail cams out there and all that good stuff. So with 500,000 lights, 500,000 lights, which is a phenomenal amount. How much time do you spend fixing lights each season?
Oh man, depends on what's broken. If it's just a full strand of lights, LED keeper, and easy fix. But if a bunch of lights that I could probably just rebuy, sometimes I just throw them, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with having to fix them. And then by the time I fix them, the next season they might break again. So it's like
Now, do you have the old version of the LED keeper where it looks like a banana, or do you have the new version where it looks like a gun?
The new one.
Yeah, I've got both. Haven't worked out at some point I need to do a updated video on the LED keeper. But that thing is, if I'm hanging lights, the LED keeper is on my tool belt. Do you have any other go-to other than the LED keeper? Any other go-to tools to help you fix Christmas lights? Is that a zip tie gun? Is it bolt cutters? Any other tools you use?
Zip ties, scissors, screwdrivers or drill. Pretty much anything.
What I learned 2 years ago, Devin, is when you move a ladder, make sure there's not a drill on top of the ladder. That's how I took my first emergency room visit while hanging Christmas lights. Turns out gravity's a thing. Have you ever had we have 500,000 lights, or 200,000 last year. This year, 500,000 lights. Issues are going to pop up. Have you had to MacGyver anything or invent anything or anything to make sure your prop works the way you need it to?
Yeah. There's a lot of props that I'll put out. Like, obviously, with that amount of lights, we start early prepping. I mean, if we need to get any measurements and stuff, we start typically end of July, August to get any measurements we need, and then props go out in October or September, depending on how it is and stuff, and so forth. And there's been times where I've put something up, and then it's even broken before we even turn them on. So I'll have to take it down, fix it, put it back up, which is a pain, but
it is.
So that's kind of
What hacks or MacGyvering have any what invention have you had to invent anything or any special way of hanging a light or prop that other people can kind of learn from your
Yeah.
wisdom?
So not this past season, but the season before, I wanted to do a mega tree, but I didn't want to build it the typical way with a pole in the middle.
Oh,
And with all the trees surrounding in the park, there was one tree that was probably 50, 60 feet high before it even started having branches going out. So I was like,
wow.
that I could utilize that as the pole and make a mega tree out of that. So basically, I made a PVC ring, and then put some eye hooks all the way up at the top of the tree, and
Yeah.
had a bucket truck go up and pretty much hook onto the thing. I hooked up the lights, and then it was kind of easy as far as you just pull the rope and it went up, and then I tied it down at the bottom with some cinder blocks because it was a lot of
Nice.
but that
I'm
was
sitting there thinking, what kind of acronym could that be? So I'm thinking SEPTED, Christmas Light Placement Through Environmental Design. So SEPTED, you created your own. You used the environment that you already had. You already had a 60-foot tree with no branches on it.
Yeah.
You used that to make a mega tree. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Very cool. If you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice, like, hey, this thing's going to be huge, 500,000 lights. What advice would you give your current self from the past? What advice? What wisdom have you learned over the years?
Don't rush for it.
Yeah, yeah.
They have a habit of rushing through some of like bigger crops where I have an idea, and then I rush to try to build it, and then it does not come out the way that I anticipated it to, or I didn't actually take the time to think it all through and so forth. So I think I would definitely have to say that if I take my time planning more than just being like, oh, I want to do this and then buy everything, I feel like it would be more easier. And
I think we've all been there. I made 3 different versions of my Santa Claus house, trying to avoid making an actual house. I'm like, there's no way of doing this. I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and make an actual house.
yeah.
So yeah, I think we've all been there. Sometimes we all get an idea in our head, like, it's gonna be awesome. And like, how do I do it? Like, I have no idea, but we're gonna figure it out. So what's the dream here, Devin? 5 years down the road, you already have the biggest light display in the #1 Christmas town in America. What's the dream 5 years from now?
Definitely, I've been trying to for a while now, is getting on the Great Christmas Light Fight. That is my goal. But I feel like if I can accomplish that, once I do that, I feel like that will be the tippy top to what I wanted to do. So.
And you're in a unique position to get on the light fight for a couple of reasons. Yeah. #1, they're reducing how many people are going to be on it this year.
Yeah.
So that's kind of limits the competition. Plus, you have a city public display, so it's not a house. So you're going to have to wait until they go back to the city versus city or neighborhood versus neighborhood. Have you talked to any of the producers or anything on the light fight?
Yes, I have. Agents? Yeah, I've talked to 3 of them, and I've applied a couple times, and they've loved the photos that I've sent them and stuff. They love the display. But again, it's the whole that it's a city display, and if they're not filming anything, they can't accept it. So they're kind of waiting on the time to be like, yeah, we're going to be filming all these types of episodes. We think you can get.
Yeah, if you haven't yet, you might give Brian Michael. There's another TV show that started last year, but I don't know the name of it, but I know Brian does. Shout out to the librarian on the YouTube channel. I've never actually specifically asked him what channel it was on. I know it was, actually, I don't know anything about it. So, but there is another competition show out there that came out last year. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've heard it briefly, but I don't remember the name of it or any of that. I'll have to look it up and see if I can find it.
I'll get a hold of Brian and let you know what that is. So, or Brian, when you watch this later, put that down in the comments for other people to join in. So do you have any plans or desires to Well, you want to be on the light fight. So other than the light fight, if people who came to your show last year only saw 200,000 lights, this year 500,000. So in 5 years, 10 years, you're going to keep this going. It's a memorial. You got to go do it every year, and you have a passion for it, right?
Yeah.
So is there anything above and beyond? Let me ask it a different way. Magic wand. You can build any prop. You're not limited to anything. What prop are you building?
I would probably try to build the biggest and most giant prop I could build.
Right.
I think going over the top, especially for that. I mean, it's a city, but it's not at the same time. It's based on how many people live there, but it's got the
Yeah.
charm of like a small New England town. So it's it's in the middle of there. So if I could find a way to build bigger props and put them there,
Yeah.
I feel like
But
people
you got a 50-foot mystery prop
yeah,
for this year, though, right?
yeah, that's
Very
pretty cool.
cool.
I feel like over the years it'll grow much larger, so we'll see.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So tell folks again, where can they find you on YouTube?
My YouTube channel is DB Productions, and then our display Facebook page is DB Lights or facebook.com/Christmas Light Shows.
Nice. Nice. Anything else that people need to know about you? Anything I didn't ask you that you want to talk about today?
No.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show. I'm Charlie.
And
Devin. Any questions? Leave us down in the comments below. If you have a question for Devin, we'll come back and we'll answer them. Appreciate you, folks. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.